SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. You know, it's crazy how black people treat each other on all continents where we find each other, in all parts of the world. It's like we're the only people that war against our own so much, that hate our own so much. Black people are divided by religion, we're divided by skin color, we're divided by hair texture, eye color, we're divided by wealth versus poverty, we're divided by middle class versus wealth versus poverty, we're divided by accents and languages, we're divided by, the list goes on and on about the insurmountable amount of things that blacks are divided by. And the one thing that we need to unite on is the fact that our ancestral lineage is the same, blackness, and we can't do it. Can't do it. And we continue to blame everybody else outside of ourselves when the answer, the solution to the problem is in us. Right? Now, I've always heard about how Trinidadians don't like Jamaicans and this don't like that, and Barbadians and Grenadians and this and that, and I made it a point of duty to actually submerge myself, not only on social media but in real life, to find out if it's really true. And of course I found Jamaicans that spoke bad about Trinidadians, and I found Trinidadians that spoke badly about Jamaicans as well. I've seen where the Trinidadian government thinks very low of Jamaican people and it on a whole, and it's the same vice versa, right? But this whole Haitian versus Barbadian, I don't know what them call themselves. I will tell you in a minute what they call themselves. I can't even pronounce this. Bahamians. Haitian versus Bahamians is crazy. Now, a part of me wants to be hypocritical and say they're wrong for this. But let me ask my Jamaican people this. If Jamaica was flooded with Haitians, I know we have Haitians living and working there, but if Jamaica, the land of Jamaica, was flooded with Haitians suddenly, would you be mad at the Haitians for running away from Haiti to find somewhere better to live? Yes or no? Leave your comment in the comment section and tell me what says you. Now I'm gonna move on. Walk with me. So, Haitians looking for a better life have migrated to certain Bahamian islands, right? Now when the hurricane hit the other day, the hurricane hit extremely hard in a part of Bahamas, the Bahamian islands, where there were a lot of Haitians or Haitian concentration in that area. The first thing that these people had to say the Bahamians had to say was, God hit that part of the Bahamas and washed them out because God didn't want the Haitians there, because the Haitians are working too much voodoo and they are Christians and they don't want that in there. So again, we see religion versus ancient ways, traditions and beliefs, right? Now, this lady right here on social media, this is a teacher that is retired, and this is her words.
I tell my old students who defense force officers, when y'all catch the Haitians at sea, drown them. What? Drown them. What? Even God is tired of Haitians. Too many of them in the country. What?
Say it again.
Haitians, I tell my old students who defense force officers, when y'all catch the Haitians at sea, them in the country. What? Haitians, I tell my old students who defense force officers, when y'all catch the Haitians at sea, drown them. Drown them.
This is a woman that was a school teacher. So one of the comments under here says, I know that old ignorant soul. She had high school education and she used to teach high school. This is Miss Lundy. She is lost, just like a lot of Bahamians and other Caribbean folks. Same way they don't know that we're all the same people because they're stuck on this Christianity thing. And while they are taking their time and plotting to kill off their brother, man and other man is watching the genocide and waiting to take what we leave behind. So her and people like her with that mindset, they're the ones not needing to be brought back into our civilization once we rebuild. Because with a mindset like that, Abibifodi, whatever that is, will never move ahead, because Abibifa Hodi will never move ahead because of people like her with that mindset. And they go over its stupidity, lack of knowledge. That's why they perish. And I don't care which Caribbean island it is. Every one of them like that. Like her, it's what brings water downfalls on our people. What this lady said was, I tell my old students that are now defense officers, meaning soldier, police, whatever, when you catch the Haitians at sea, drown them. Don't help them to land. Drown them. This is after the island had been washed by Hurricane Dorian underwater, right? And this is her message in a time like that. I tell the Haitians, I tell my high school's graduate students, my former students who are now defense officers, when you catch the Haitians at sea, drown them. Do you see what's going on in South Africa? Who you think wins once again? Do you remember apartheid in South Africa? It's funny because under apartheid in South Africa, black people really had no strength. They fought and fought and fought, and they were beaten and brutalized for trying to defend themselves, to get a little bit of human rights in their own land by Europeans, which in South Africa today, Europeans still control majority of the wealth and still sits in a position of power, even though there has been a shift in the paradigm, because now there are poor white people in South Africa. But because there is no longer apartheid, you give black people a little bit of freedom taste, and they turn against each other. Now you have South Africans killing Nigerians or other Africans in their country. Why? Africa is one continent. It's the same mindset that we've had over time. It's the same mindset that we've had over time. Now, in the Caribbean, I, SouFlo here, have this one saying on SouFLoTV, and I've maintained this. I fly the Jamaican flag because this right here represents memories to me. And this right here represents my foundation in life. I've been many other places outside of Jamaica. I've been influenced by many other cultures, meeting and greeting and getting to know many other people from many other cultures, right? But this is where it all started for me. Yes, my roots, my lineage. But that doesn't mean that I separate myself from anybody else. Is one Caribbean. When these ships, boats were dropping off people, they were dropping some over Dessa in a Grenada, some in a Guyana, some in a Antigua, some over in a Haiti, some in a Dominican Republic, some over Yassa, some over Dessa, and they sprinkled us everywhere. Now people have it to say that Jamaica is vastly different from the rest of the Caribbean because Jamaica was the breaking ground. So the slaves that you met in Jamaica, they came from all other places that slaves were held. And they were the rebellious ones from all these other plantations. Even in the US, they would ship the rebellious slaves down to Jamaica to be punished on the buck breaking farms, in the sugar cane, I don't know if you know about sugarcane plants, but it's like and pineapples and stuff like that. It's like working with razor blades, right? And remember, these people didn't have much protection, so they had to wrap themselves up with old sackcloths, sap themselves with mud, let it dry, whatever protection they could find. They actually weren't even allowed to do all that because they had to leave their backs open for whippings. And a man would ride around on a horse or a donkey and just beat them over their back if they wasn't picking fast enough or if they weren't cutting enough sugarcane for the day. They had to meet their quota every day. And Jamaica was the punishment ground. So you had many different tribes and many different ethnicities as far as from the continent of Africa, all rebellious, coming there, meeting up there, right? But the one thing is, we all came from that same one place. So it doesn't matter if you ended up in the US on a plantation before and decided to rebel. It doesn't matter if you ended up in the Bahamas on a plantation, in the Cayman Islands on a plantation, in Grenada, Antigua, Barbuda, in any St. Vincent, any of the other Trinidad, Tobago. It doesn't matter if you ended up in any of these places. Once you started to rebel, Jamaica was the place where they would send you to get broken. And people have it to say that that is why Jamaicans are violent like that. Because it's in their nature. Because the most rebellious ones were sent there. Now you can imagine over time, that same bloodline breeding, right? That DNA stamped of rebellion. And I think to this day, all across the world, it is why Jamaican people are not to be messed with. Because even the calmest, simplest, smoothest Jamaican, if you hit that switch the wrong way, you're going to have some problems, right? But that doesn't separate us. We're still one people. So it's disheartening to hear this lady say, she tells her former students that are now defense officers, when you catch the Haitians at sea, drown them. Not help them to shore, not to make sure that they're okay, not to see if there are children amongst them that need to be saved. When you catch them at sea, as long as they're Haitians, drown them. And I did this video because I've been watching it going on social media, and my audience members have been saying, SouFlo, how come you didn't do a video yet about the Haitians versus the Bahamians? And I'm saying, what's going on? I don't know. And they start sending me all these things. And I'm like, wow. 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 Really? Bahamians gonna need to fix up. Okay? Y'all need to fix up. And remember this. What goes around comes around. That part. It's SouFLoTV, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your comment in the comment section below. I'm out. And again, before I go, my Jamaicans, I have a specific question for you. If Jamaica was suddenly flooded with Haitians, I know they're there already, but if it was flooded with Haitians, they came in droves, in the thousands or hundreds, would you be accepting of them trying to move to higher ground to find better life? Or would you become like this Bahamian lady and say, no, turn them back at sea, we don't want them in here? I want to know. I'm testing the waters. I'm out. Peace.